What's up guys, this is your man GitK once again. In today's video I'm going to show you how to do high-end skin retouching in Photoshop. So without talking much, let's jump right to the video. So this image right here on our screen was given out by Dirty Studios. He's a Nigerian photographer, and we say thank you for him sharing this image for us to practice with. Yes, then he shot this image using the Nikon D7000. Yes, so let's work on it. Basically, I don't like how this image is looking too warm, so we are going to trade that, and you can simply do that using your temperature slider in camera raw, and I'm using camera raw 14.0. so you just have to take the slider to the coolest part or to the cool part, and you can see gradually the warm tones are taking off. Yes, and that is how I want my image to be. Yes, so once that is done, I'm going to increase on my contrast a little and then reduce on the highlight a little because the nose and this part are too shiny. I'm going to reduce them a little. In studio shots, when you're color correcting your studio shot, you don't have to really do much. Yes. So come to color mixer, and then the oranges I have to turn it down a little, not too much, just a little, and then boost the brightness of it. Something like this works for me. Yeah. So this is just the before and after, and you can see we've transformed it from looking like this to this. So let's proceed and then open it, but I want to first lastly do this, increase the saturation a little. Once that is done, just open it in Photoshop, and here we have it. So firstly, what we are going to do is crop the image to fit. Let's see, we'll be posting this on Instagram or yes, something sort of. So go in for your crop tool, you can just press C on your keyboard, and then there you have it, and then you crop it nicely to fit how you want it to be. I want to go in a little and then crop this, or you can choose to retouch everything. Once you are done, then you crop it. Yeah. So this is it. This is how I want my frame to look like. So firstly, what we have to do is duplicate our background. You can do that using Ctrl+J, and then we take off blemishes on the skin. So I think I'm going to speed up this aspect so it doesn't take much of our time. And it turns out to be she doesn't really have much of blemishes on her skin, so we'll dive right into retouching. And today we are going to use my advanced gidkayphotography pack, which is available on our digital store for purchase. And also, if you want to know the manual way of doing this, I have a video in my previous videos. You can go check it out, and it's going to walk you through step by step. But this is an action whereby it's going to save you all the time and the stress. So without any further ado, we're just going to click on the action, and then we wait for it to play. So like I always say, it's going to bring out a pop-up menu, and then it's going to ask you the radius for your Gaussian plane. And with this, I want to use 6 for it because I want to smoothen out the skin at the same time retain textures. So click on OK, and then wait for it to be done, and it automatically selects your mixer brush for you, and these are the layers it creates for you. So you're going to retouch on an empty layer, and then also these are my mixer brush settings, so you can copy them or use what works for you. So when retouching on an empty layer, make sure you check this sample all layers box, and also make sure it's on a clean brush. So what this basically means is after every stroke the brush becomes clean. It doesn't carry one color to another unless it's being forced by you, the editor, yes, or the photographer. So before we start, you have to turn off this high FS layer, and then you take your time and then brush. So there are times when you'll be moving your brush in circular ways, yes, and also follow the dimension of the face. So instead of you brushing down, don't brush up. You're going to spoil how the skin moves. The skin falls. You see, everything is falling. So you also have to follow that kind of path. be able to finish everything down here. So when it's going this way, you also go that way, so you don't damage how the image looks. And also, one advantage about retouching on an empty layer is one of these reasons. You see, the skin or the cloth is closer to the skin. Yes, you can try as much as possible to stay away from the edges, but sometimes because of how fast you want to finish, we tend to destroy it by brushing into it or dragging the black color into our skin tone. So you can, after everything, you can take your eraser and then clean the excess skin tone color on the cloth. Yes. And the reason why I zoom out when retouching is I want to get a wider view or a clearer view of the skin tone, so I'll know where to move next and finish very early. So you see, when you are too close, you have to move in small or little by little, but when you are zoomed out, you can increase on your brush and work at a particular area. Yes, so that is my reason for zooming out when retouching. You can take your time as well. You don't have to rush it, because if you rush it, you are going to spoil it. No rush. Yeah, so you take your time, and then when you get to the nose, make sure you don't overdo it, because you can flatten the nose by retouching. Yeah, so you take your time and then you retouch it. Take your time. Yeah, the main point here is to enhance your image, not to destroy it. We are going to do more here, and let's see what we've done so far. So this is what we've been able to achieve before and after. You see how the skin is looking very neat and natural as well. Turn it off and then we continue. When you get to this point, make sure you take your time so you don't destroy the contouring on the cheek, and also stay out of edges. And it's not necessarily for you to retouch shadows, this deep shadow. No, you can just ignore it and then work on where it's visible to the eyes. Yeah, make sure you brush gently. You don't mix up skin tones. When I say skin tones, highlights, mid-tones, and then shadows. Yes, excessive shadows, you don't retouch them. You take your time when you are retouching the nose as well, because you can spoil how the image looks. So you can see gradually we are getting to, or we are achieving our goal by retouching this image. Yes. And guys, we should do more this year. This year we should do lots of behind the scenes, explaining camera settings, showing you how I shoot, and so on. And so you guys should pray for me. Yes, and I also pray for you guys to be able to always get the strength so you can acquire some knowledge or a tip. Yes, I know it's not only beginners who watch this space, professionals do. I also do watch tutorials, because in this craft you never stop learning. Yeah, the moment you stop learning, you become outmoded or outdated, because there are new things coming up each and every time, each and every day. So you always have to keep yourself updated. Recently we just got to know that there's something called AI in photo editing, yes, which makes your works very easy for you. So if you don't learn how to use this, you'll still be at the same position you are doing the traditional way. Yes, and I'm sure in the next years AI will come and take up everything, or it's already taking up. Yes, but I enjoy doing it in the manual way, but I've still learned how to use the AI. So this is what we've done so far. Let's continue. Come to the neck. When you get to the neck, you don't have to do much over there, because you want to keep it natural as possible. very natural as possible. So you don't mess things up here. You see how I'm taking my time to move the brush? Yes, that's how you should be able to retouch. So when you get to the edges, take your time and then draw it out or brush it out. Yeah. So now we are on the arm or the hand. This one you can speed up a little because it somehow has same skin tone color. I need to really do much because you might end up smoothing out the veins behind her hand, which is not going to look realistic or natural. Yeah. So in this tutorial, I'm going to cover up a lot, although it's mainly on high-end skin retouching. I'm going to walk you guys throughout a lot. Yeah. So it's going to be long a bit, but it's worth it. I'm going to cover on how to match skin tones, whiten your eye and teeth, and then do dodge and burning as well. So with the hand, you don't really do much. You don't want to damage how the hand looks. If you are using a webcam, it's a plus. If you are using a mouse, that's also fine. Yeah. Whatever tool you are using in achieving the magics you are creating is perfect. So we are done with the brushing. Now let me show you guys something. So hold on Alt, click, and then you are going to know that we somehow brought in the blacks cloth over there. So you can go in for your eraser, just reduce on the brush size, and then you can clean. Make sure you don't get too close to the edges. Yeah. And that's how we achieve a neat retouching. So before and after, before and after. You see, we're smoothing it out but still retaining textures. We are not done. Let's move to our lasso to soften out the brush strokes on the skin. It's not that visible, but it needs to be done. So we select a given area and then make sure you don't get close to the edges. I always keep telling you guys this. Once you are done, come to filter, come to blur, come to Gaussian blur, and then you can input. You can times this by the radius you used earlier on, but I'm going to break rules here. I'm going to use radius of 20 and then click OK, and I'm going to apply this to all parts of the skin. Yeah. So I'm going to apply it here. Once I've done it already, I don't have to go back to filter anymore. I have to just right click and go to Gaussian blur, and that will be all. Yeah. So you take your time and then you do it. This is how you keep your images looking very natural. Because sometimes or most times I see people retouching images and they tend to make the image look toyish or have this cartoon look, which is not okay. Yes. So make sure your retouching is natural as possible, very realistic. Make sure you are retaining all the textures. You are not smoothing out the skin too much. Yeah. For the arms, I'm not sure you're going to do much over there. Just a little something. I think this is okay. Yeah. So this is how we've finally retouched our image from looking like this to this, like this to this, like this to this. Yes. Now let's dive into the next part. So I'm going to stand visible my image. So hold on your Shift Alt Control plus E to create a stand visible. So you can turn off this. You can do that with my action pack. Here it says turn visible. Once you click on it, it's going to create this for you. Good. So now we are going to start off with matching the skin tone. So we are going to do that using my 100 plus rich skin tone pack. Yes. Which is available on our digital store. So once you open it, it has 100 plus rich skin tones. So it's up to you to select the one that works for you. So I'm going to set this. Let me see this, and then I regulate the how I want it to look. Yeah, bring in the shadows a little, pull in the midtones. Yeah, so these are highlights, these are midtones, these are shadows. Once you are done, just click on OK, and then we are going to change this to soft light, and then we are going to reduce the opacity to about 30 or 20. So let's see what works for us first. 30. I'm sure 30 will work. So just invert this color, this layer mask, sorry. You can do that using Ctrl+I to do that. Go in for a regular brush tool. Make sure it's a soft round brush, not hard, and the size should be reasonable according to how you brush. So make sure you stay off the eyes and the mouth. Yes, so we brush gently only on the skin tone. I'm sure I'm going to forward this part. Alright guys, and this is how we match skin tones in Photoshop using my rich 100 plus rich skin tone, sorry. Yes, so before and after. You can see the skin tone is looking very nice this time around. And then let's jump into dodge and burn. So this same action pack has dodge and burn action in it. So just give it a single click and then you wait for it to play, and it also automatically going to select your brush tool for you. All you have to do is just change the flow percentage for your brush. So I'm going to use 2 because I don't want to really do it. I don't want to make the effect too much. So dodge basically means the highlight and burn means shadows. So we are going to just enhance it. So I'm just going to give it some few clicks and that will be all. And then the nose as well, the highlight on the nose. You can see this contouring over here. Let's enhance it a little. Same for this. Just enhance that contouring over there. The chin too. And then the neck. And then the hand over here too as well. The finger. There's some harsh highlight over there. Yeah. We can increase the brush and also lighten up these aspects. Then now we come to the bend. The bend means shadow. So now I'm going to focus on where shadows are. So the nose to this aspect has shadows. There are shadows over here to create more contouring for the cheeks. And then same applies to this aspect too. And I think that will be all. Let's leave it at the back of the hand like this. Yeah. So let's turn off the visual aid, which is the black and white, and then let's see what we've done so far. So before and after. You can see we've highlighted and also added contrast to the image by using dodge and burn. Lastly, let's go into identity whitening. So give it a single click as well. I'm going to create all the layers for you. This time I'll make sure your flow is on 100. Make sure you're using a foreground color of white. Zoom in and then we brush gently. So we take our time and then we brush on it. And also don't get close to the flesh over here, so we can make it look realistic. So you take your time to do this. You don't rush it. Yes, and that's how it's supposed to be. So once you are done, you can see the whitening action is too high or it's excessive. So you can reduce the opacity by turning it down to about like 60 or 50. This makes it look very realistic and natural because in Africa here we don't have two white eyes. And it's going to look very awkward and weird. Yeah. So this makes it look very realistic and natural before and after. You see, you can't really tell the difference, yes, but it adds a little white to the eyes and that makes it look cool. And then once you are done, just dive into a little grading to our image. And before we do that, I want to change the background color for this. You can quickly do that using your hue and saturation slider or adjustments, and then you pick the color picker to click on the blue, or this, it says it's cyan. Yeah. So now let's regulate the colors to a specific color we want. Then we end it there. So choose a color that will be nice for us. I think this will work. Yeah. The saturation, turn it down a little. This is the brightness or the lightness. Yeah. Turn it down a little. That will be all. So I'm going to invert this and then brush on only the background. So this on the background. Only on the background. Only. We don't want it affecting the skin. Only on the background. So you can see you can even change your backdrop color in Photoshop using this trick. Yeah. It's pretty simple and fast. Yeah. So this is how we turn it to looking like this to this. Alright. Now let's add a little grading to it. Come to my selected color. Go to blacks. Drag the yellow a little and then the cyan a little. Yeah. And this will be all. Lastly, I want to add an adjustment here to make everything pop over here. And so let's increase on my levels a little and then bring in a little bit. So before and after, before and after. And this is how we turn everything out from looking like this to this. Yes. So thanks for staying tuned to the end of this video. I know this video was supposed to be only on high-end skin retouching, but I decided to add more so you can acquire more knowledge. Thanks for staying tuned to the end of this video once again, and also catch me up on another educative and exciting video like we did today. Peace out.